Okay, for this episode, I'll show you how I made the gun. So here's the start of the gun mount. This piece of 1/4 inch plywood, I just cut a groove every 1/2 inch and wrapped it on there, and that'll fit there. And I'm about to make the gun shield that overlaps over this. So this is what happens when you, this is just wood. I just cut the grooves and soaked it, and it just takes a curve automatically just from soaking it. Okay, so this layer is my dry piece. This is just a spacer, sacrificial spacer to give myself a 1/4 inch gap. And then there's 2 layers that are glued together that are drying and that'll make up the gun shield. So once that all dries, I'll take that off, and hopefully none of the glue oozed out onto the spacer. I might have to cut that off. And then this will make up the gun shield. Well, after sitting overnight, look how much foam comes out of there from that Gorilla Glue. I have to cut all that off and sand it down. Okay, so here are the gun components I got so far. This is that front piece that will be bolted to the front of the turret. So I got the cutout for the gun and for the scope to travel up and down. And so this will be rigidly bolted to the hull, and then I took 2 lag bolts and ground the threads off the end so that these will go through a hole in the side, but they'll be threaded into this piece, and then this smooth part will be sticking out, and that will go into the side of the gun carriage that will allow the gun to tilt up and down. The gun goes here. And then this piece is going to clamp on there to hold the gun in position. And then there's a pipe will go underneath the gun horizontally here to store pressure. Then I got to figure out a place to mount my gun breech. I bought another toggle clamp, same I want to use for this tube, so I'll probably mount that here, but I'm not sure if this is going to stick up too high. I'll have to put it in the turret and see if that's going to work. Otherwise I might have to mount it off to the side. I don't know, we'll see. And the other thing I got for this one is this little compressor. It's got a built-in battery, so my plan is I'm just going to mount this right on the gun somewhere, and that hose screws in here, and then I'll run that here, and then every time I need to recharge it, you just push the power button again. And so if I can mount this here somewhere like that, so that the operator, you've got the pressure reading, the reset, the power, it's all there self-contained. So I'll put it in the turret and see if I can figure out where I'm going to mount the breech and the compressor. Okay, I got the breech mounted. I got to add a rubber pad on here, but the breech block, I mean. So that's how that will close. I use a scale. I need to add 10 pounds of counterweight, so these are 16 pounds. I got to cut a little off the ends and then weld those onto a bracket that I'll bolt on the bottom to balance the gun. And then this thing will actually fit, the compressor will fit right here perfectly. I'll just put a zip tie around that to hold it on. And then I need to add a handle to add for positioning and firing the gun with the trigger. So a little bit of welding is coming up next. A few years ago, I got this plasma cutter, and for metal work, it's fantastic. I think I paid like 90 bucks for it on Amazon, and this will cut through a 1/2 inch thick steel plate, no problem. Just that easy. Okay, here's what I came up with for a counterweight. We're looking at the bottom of the gun here. This is going to bolt on here. So you can see I've got these slotted holes. And this is 10 pounds out here. And this way I can adjust how far past the pivot point here. There's the pivot point. So in order to balance the gun, I can just adjust the position of the weight to get it balanced. And I'm hoping that with the center of gravity of this whole gun being lower than the pivot point, it will balance level. If the center of gravity was above the pivot point, it would want to tip all the way down or all the way up. So I'm hoping I can adjust that position of the counterweight and get it to balance level, and it'll be real easy to aim and control. Okay, this is my trigger to fire the gun. So I carved this piece as a handle. This piece a little hard to do with one hand. Goes in there. There's my trigger. I'll mount it right here to fire the gun, and then I'll put another handle over there just so you've got two hands to rotate the turret. So that's the next step. Okay, I added these curved pieces on the sides of the gun mount. Here's what they look like on the back. This one cracked, so I'll have to do some wood filler on that, but I think I got all the gun pieces made, so let's put it together. Here's the whole gun assembly with the counterweight on the bottom. Put it in upside down. Flip it over. Get it up. There we go. Okay, there it is, and now I'm not touching the gun right now, it's balancing a little bit above level, so that's pretty good. Now I'll put on the gun shield. Oh, it's 88 degrees in my garage, and I can't run a fan because of the sawdust, so it is hot in here. There we go. Adjust the scope a little bit. Should have negative 10 degrees to plus 20. I'm sure it's going up all the way. I'll have to see if I got some interference I didn't plan on, but there we go. Here's what it looks from the inside. The trigger's on the other side of this handle. You can't see it from this view, but tip up and down. There's my compressor. You just push this button in the middle here to recharge the pressure. There's my breech block. You can see through the gun barrel, and then you'll look through the scope to aim it. Just need to do some plumbing. I ran out of Teflon tape, so I couldn't finish the plumbing today, but other than that, it's ready to go. So that's it for today. Next I'm gonna take the gun apart and paint everything and reinstall it. So I won't have a firing gun until after it's all painted and reassembled. So I'll give you an update of that in a few weeks. Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time.